Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real simple. There is no excuse for not trying, none. I don't care where you come from, what you've been through, or what obstacles stand in your way. If you want something, you got to go after it, period. There is no excuse for not trying. Too many people talk themselves out of their own potential before they even take the first step. They look at where they came from, the resources they lack, or the challenges ahead and decide that it's not even worth the effort. But the truth is, every person who has ever achieved anything started in a place of uncertainty. Nobody begins with everything lined up perfectly. Nobody gets a smooth, obstacle-free path. The only difference between those who make it and those who don't is that one group made the decision to try no matter what. People love to say, well, I wasn't born into the right family, or I didn't have the right education. Some blame their circumstances, their environment, or the people around them. And while all of those things might be real challenges, they are not valid reasons to give up before starting. There are people who have come from the worst situations and still made something of themselves. There are people who had no support, no money, no connections, but they had determination, and that was enough to push them forward. The problem is most people think they need everything before they start. They think they need a full plan, a guarantee, or a perfect moment, but success doesn't work that way. It rewards those who step out on faith and take action even when the odds aren't in their favor. If you sit back and wait for life to hand you opportunities, you'll be waiting forever. If you don't take that first step, nothing changes. If you don't try, you've already lost before the game even begins. People who succeed aren't always the smartest, the richest, or the most talented. They are the ones who refuse to let excuses define them. They don't allow their past to dictate their future. They don't let fear stop them from taking a chance. They make the decision to go after what they want, even if they don't have it all figured out yet. Everybody has struggles. No one gets through life without obstacles, setbacks, or challenges. It's easy to look at successful people and assume they had it easier, that they had some advantage you don't. But if you really dig into their stories, you'll find that most of them had to overcome something: poverty, rejection, failure, doubt, or even their own fears. The difference is they didn't let those struggles stop them. They didn't use them as an excuse to stay where they were. They made the decision to push through no matter how hard it got. Some people think their struggles are unique, that they're facing something no one else can understand. While everyone's journey is different, struggle itself is universal. Everyone has moments where they feel like giving up. Everyone has times when they question whether they're good enough, smart enough, or strong enough to make it. The people who win in life aren't the ones who never struggle. They're the ones who refuse to let their struggles define them. It's not about what you go through, it's about how you respond to it. Some people let hardship break them. Others use it as fuel to push harder. Some people allow their struggles to become their identity, while others decide that their circumstances will not be their final destination. The choice is always there. You can dwell on what's wrong, or you can focus on what you can do to change it. People who succeed aren't necessarily the ones who had it the easiest. Many of them had to fight for everything they have. They had to work twice as hard, face rejection after rejection, and deal with moments of uncertainty. But they didn't quit. They didn't let the struggle become their excuse. They took every difficulty and turned it into motivation. That's the mindset that separates those who achieve their dreams from those who spend their lives wishing things were different. Too many people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect conditions before they start. They tell themselves they'll go after their dreams when they have more money, more time, or more confidence. But the truth is, the perfect moment doesn't exist. There will always be something that isn't ideal. There will always be a reason to wait. And if you keep waiting, you'll never move. People think they need to have it all figured out before they take the first step. They want guarantees. They want certainty. But life doesn't work like that. You're never going to have all the answers in the beginning. You're never going to feel completely ready. The only way to gain experience, confidence, and success is to start before you feel ready. It's through action that you figure things out. It's through trying that you learn what works and what doesn't. Some of the most successful people in the world started with nothing but an idea and a willingness to try. They didn't have a perfect plan. They didn't have unlimited resources, but they had the courage to take a step even when they were unsure. They understood that movement creates momentum. Once you start, you can adjust, learn, and improve along the way. But if you never start, nothing changes. Fear is what keeps most people stuck. Fear of failure, fear of looking foolish, fear of making mistakes. But mistakes are part of the process. Failure is part of the process. The only real failure is never trying at all. You can't learn to swim by reading about it. You have to get in the water. You can't get better at something without doing it. Every expert started as a beginner. Every master was once a student. The only way to grow, improve, and succeed is to take action, even when you don't feel completely prepared. Most people let fear control them. They let the thought of failure stop them before they even start. They sit around thinking about everything that could go wrong instead of focusing on what could go right. They ask themselves, what if I fail? What if I embarrass myself? What if people judge me? And because they let those thoughts take over, they stay stuck exactly where they are. But the real question they should be asking is, what if I succeed? What if that risk you take leads to the opportunity of a lifetime? What if stepping out of your comfort zone is the key to unlocking the life you've always wanted? What if that thing you're afraid to do is the very thing that changes everything for you? Fear is always going to be there, but you have to decide whether it's going to be your prison or your motivation. People who succeed in life don't let fear stop them. It's not that they don't feel it. They do. They just refuse to let it control their decision. They understand that fear is a natural part of growth. Anything worth having comes with risk. Anything meaningful will require you to step into the unknown. Playing it safe might keep you comfortable, but it won't get you anywhere new. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of success. Every person who has accomplished something great has failed at some point. The difference is they didn't let failure define them. They learned from it, adjusted, and kept going. The only true failure is never trying at all. The only guaranteed way to lose is to let fear talk you out of taking action. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, start focusing on what could go right. Instead of letting fear paralyze you, let it push you forward. If you're afraid, that's a good sign. It means you're stepping into something bigger than what you're used to. Fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal that you're moving in the right direction. Failure is not the end of the road. It's a part of the journey. Too many people are afraid to fail, so they never start. They treat failure like a final verdict instead of a learning experience. But the truth is, every successful person has failed, probably more times than they can count. The difference is they didn't stop when things didn't go their way. They fell forward. They took every mistake, every setback, every disappointment and used it as a stepping stone to get better. Most people see failure as a sign to quit. They take one rejection, one loss, or one mistake and decide it's over. But failure is not a signal to stop. It's a lesson. It's information. It's feedback. It's showing you what doesn't work so you can adjust, improve, and try again. The people who succeed in life are the ones who keep going when others would have given up. They understand that failure is just a part of the process. Every great athlete has lost games. Every great business owner has made bad decisions. Every great speaker has stumbled over their words. No one is immune to failure, but the ones who rise to the top are the ones who refuse to let failure define them. They don't dwell on their mistakes, they learn from them. They take what they need from the experience and move forward. Most people want success without setbacks, but that's not how growth works. Every challenge, every difficulty, every failed attempt is shaping you into the person you need to become. If you never experience failure, you never develop resilience. If you never struggle, you never build strength. The people who win in life aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who use failure to fuel their success. The key is to stop seeing failure as something to be ashamed of and start seeing it as a necessary step toward greatness. The more you try, the more you learn. The more you learn, the better you get. And the better you get, the closer you are to everything you've been working for. Action is the key to everything. People spend too much time thinking, planning, and waiting for the right moment instead of actually doing something. They get stuck in their own heads, analyzing every possibility, weighing every risk, and before they know it, years have passed and nothing has changed. But opportunity doesn't just show up. You have to go after it. Success doesn't come from sitting still, it comes from taking action. Some people believe they need all the answers before they start, but that's not how progress works. You don't get clarity from thinking, you get clarity from doing. The more you act, the more you learn. The more you step out, the more doors open. Waiting for things to be perfect only guarantees that nothing happens. Perfection is an illusion. And the people who accomplish great things are the ones who understand that starting imperfectly is better than not starting at all. Fear is what keeps most people from taking action. They worry about failing, looking foolish, or making mistakes. But the truth is, inaction is a much bigger risk. If you don't try, you already know the outcome. Nothing changes. But when you take action, even small steps, you create momentum. You put yourself in the right place at the right time. You open yourself up to opportunities that wouldn't have existed if you had stayed still. The people who succeed in life aren't always the most talented or the most educated. They're the ones who move. They take risks. They put themselves out there. They make mistakes, learn from them, and keep pushing forward. Every opportunity, every breakthrough, every success story starts with a decision to take action. A lot of people say they're waiting on the right opportunity, but the truth is, opportunity is waiting on them. It's waiting on them to take the first step, to make the call, to send the email, to try something new. The only way to create a different future is to start doing something different today. The only way to see results is to take action, no matter how small, and keep moving forward.